Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And I saw this story and I thought to myself, what a massive self-own. I think the irony has probably been lost on Humza Yousaf over this. But he's opened his mouth and he's made a comment. And even he has admitted it's not very first ministerial. It's quite an objectionable comment. But what he's claiming that people should do is to sort of basically fight bigotry. And he has, I won't say the words here, we'll say them in the piece, but he's given advice to people who, what to say when they face bigotry. And it is a spectacular own goal, considering what he's telling people to do. And telling people what to do, and more importantly, why to do it. Because the guy, I think, possibly doesn't consider himself to be a bigot. And yet he undoubtedly is. We'll take a look at it, but I think you'll agree it is, he's such an idiot, isn't he? He only has to look inward, I think. Does the man not own a mirror? Presumably not. Anyway, we'll take a look at this piece and you'll see why Humza Yousaf basically is self-owning on this one. He is literally beating himself over the head with his own stick. Here goes. So Humza Yousaf has X-rated message for bigots as he urges Scots to ignore those who dismiss them. The First Minister admitted it was not first ministerial language and it was an uncomfortable message. Now, there he is. We have to know, and I'm sure most of you do know the history of this man. Why does he keep insisting on wearing tartan ties? Is he trying to sort of convince people that he's Scottish? Is that the Abdul Tartan or something? I don't know. Anyway, Humza Yousaf has urged people to tell bigots who discriminate against them, fuck off. That's his words. Fuck off, he's saying. If he discriminates against people, those people have the right to tell you to fuck off. That is the official line from the First Minister of Scotland. This is the man, of course, who said that Scotland was horrendously white and that there was far too many white people in positions of power. Scotland is 98% white. So what I say to you, Humza Yousaf, is, with all due respect for your position as First Minister, please, kindly, follow your own advice and fuck off, you racist bigot. Does that help? Are you happy now? I am obeying your instructions. So every time anyone sees Humza Yousaf, that is the correct thing to say to him. Because that, according to him, is what you say to bigots. So we must always now say that to him wherever he goes. Now, the First Minister admitted it was not first ministerial language and it was an uncomfortable message. No, I'm perfectly happy to say that to you. I don't feel uncomfortable meeting the First Minister and telling him where to go. Don't have a problem with that at all. Yousaf was speaking at a recording of the Political Party podcast with a comedian, Matt Forde, at the Edinburgh Fringe. I will point out that the word comedian is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. I find Matt Forde to be completely unfunny. He's just not funny. I'm sure that some people find him funny, just not me. Anyway, he said he hoped he could be an inspiration for other people from diverse backgrounds. Really? So it's all about identity politics again. Is that all you've got? Identity politics and independence. Massive, isn't it? Divisive politics. Always. Let's find the things that divide people and push them. The 38-year-old became the first SNP leader and First Minister of South Asian descent in March after Nicola Sturgeon resigned. Ran to the hills, more like. Police cars flashing blue lights behind her. He said at the Gilded Balloon Teviot on Tuesday, the Gilded Balloon, I'm presuming that that's the name of a pub or something, that he'd been written off throughout his career. Oh, no, unfortunately not. ridiculed, mocked, made to look stupid, I grant you, but never written off. Yousaf said, "This is maybe an uncomfortable message for some, but I've spent most of my political life being told by mainly middle-aged white conservatives, both in politics and frankly some in the media, that I'm not smart, I'm out of my depth, essentially saying you don't belong here in the political realm. Well, I've got to say that regardless of these people's backgrounds," and he's saying, oh, look, he's the one who said they're middle-aged and white, like me, and like a lot of my viewers, I suspect. So he's already said it's white people doing this. So that alone is a bigoted statement. So yes, once again, Humza, fuck off. Anyway, he's saying that he's not smart. Well, the evidence is there. Let's face it. Point to something that you've done, Mr. Yousaf. Point to one thing you've done that's been anything other than a complete and utter failure. He's saying that he's out of his depth. Again, absolutely spot on. Yes, you're completely out of your depth. You don't know how to deal with people. You don't know how to address problems. You don't see consequences of actions. And essentially saying you don't belong here in the political realm. Yes, I think that is also correct. You're too stupid to be a politician. You're too divisive. You don't unite people. You divide them. You create misery, poverty, strife. You create friction wherever you go. So yeah, you don't belong in politics. He went on, and yeah, he said, I hope any other person, whether it's your colour, whether it's your gender, or whether it's your background, if you get told, actually, you don't belong here, you should kind of look at me and say, fuck you. Okay, I will. Every time anyone says anything to me, I will follow what he says. Whenever I'm told anything, I will look at him and say, fuck you. That's the message he's sending. Guy's a moron, isn't he? He says it's not first ministerial language, but you should say, you know what, I do belong here, because you very much do. You don't. You're too stupid. He said, this is your country, and whatever field you're working in, you should absolutely have confidence that you're able to achieve the highest level. He said that Scottish politics had a long way to go in terms of diversity, despite recent strides. In that case, Mr. Yousaf, why have you not appointed anyone other than white people into your cabinet? Why's that? Why are you the only non-white in your cabinet? What have you done about diversity? He says, how do we make politics as accessible to those who do not have the privilege that I have had growing up? We've never had a single black member of the Scottish Parliament, ever. Is that the fault of the people voting? Or the fault of the parties, such as the SNP, not picking a black candidate? Or is it that black people don't want to be representing the SNP because perhaps they fundamentally disagree with everything the SNP stands for? You can't just blame white people for a problem that you have created. He says, I don't think we've ever had a single Jewish member of the Scottish Parliament. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to be corrected. I can't think of one, to be fair. Can't see why not, but I can't think of one. Anyway, he says, there's a lot of diversity that just hasn't come through our political ranks just yet in Scotland. But I genuinely hope that people can look at me and say, you know what, because you've made it, it makes us feel any of us can make it, which is a bit of inspiration I hope I can give. Well, I only have to look at you and know I can make it, because if someone as stupid as you can make it, hell, anyone can make it. Both Yousaf and Scottish leader Anna Sowar attended the private Hutcheson's Grammar School. He said, we come with some privilege, and you've got to recognise that, and I think it's really important for us to recognise that. A fully private education, and you come out of it as thick as that. If ever there's an advert that shows that it doesn't matter how much money you got, you can still be stupid. The cream of society, isn't it? Rich and thick. I shall stop there and come up, but not before I once more say, Humza Yousaf, fuck off. Coming up. He really lacks a brain, doesn't he? The things he says, he must look at the speech he writes and not see what he's actually telling people to do. Whenever you face bigotry, look at me and say, fuck off. Okay, I faced it at work. I drive all the way to Edinburgh. I go into the house, into the Holyrood. I go up to him and go, fuck off. The man hasn't got the IQ of a shoe. He is an absolute moron. And every time he opens his mouth, it launches 1,000 videos, doesn't it? He's so stupid. But the thing is, of course, he's so, he's so bigoted himself. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see the bigotry. And of course, he's going on, oh, look at this. There's no black people in Parliament. Well, why haven't the SNP picked a black candidate? Why are you the only non-white person in your cabinet? Why haven't you picked an Asian in your cabinet? Is it because they aren't there? Is it because you are in a very, very white country and complaining that people are in a country that are, you're complaining about the colour of their skin? Fuck off. Anyway, I'm finishing. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here on the channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, whenever you see Humza Yousaf, you know what to say. Bye.